Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next Naruto Shippuden episode review. This one's going to be for episode 497, a perfect day for a wedding, part 4, the Kazekage's wedding gift. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty fun episode. As I've said for most of the episodes in this arc, none of them I don't think are like mind-blowing with how good they are, but they're all very fun and entertaining to just see our characters slightly older. You know, they're emphasizing the relationship aspect, the shipping aspect a little bit more, which is very fun to see. And then it definitely has this nice feel of just like it's building towards something. Like I feel that given that we now know it's going to go up to 500 at the very least, so this is going to be a 7 episode arc as far as we're aware, I would expect that they do commit to showing some of the wedding, because I feel that, okay, they're trying to make this into somewhat of a like an Iruka arc overall, I think is kind of what they're emphasizing, because he's in every episode to a degree. But I do feel they have to commit to giving us some Naruto and Hinata stuff themselves, like seeing a little bit of reaction from them to the wedding gifts. Otherwise it doesn't have as much impact, I don't think. So hopefully they do that expansion on the book and commit to that. But yeah, this was very nice to see just Gaara come in and kind of everyone kind of convince him that you need to get something big. You're the Kazekage and Naruto's your friend. So that means you have to get him this like giant gift that is basically from you but also from the entire Sand Village. And you have to go overboard. Konkuro is telling him to go overboard. Lee, based on the previous episodes, kind of saying, oh, you know, you have to get something for both of them, realize what a wedding is, and kind of really commit to it being big. Even Killer Bee kind of comes in later on and is kind of hyping up how big the Cloud Village his gift is going to be to Naruto. But in the end, it kind of came down to what I thought the kind of plot was going to be, what I thought the conclusion was going to be, and that is that Gaara needs to buy Naruto a present, not as the Kazekage, but as his friend. So something that is more personal, that represents, I suppose, their friendship, and like how much he cares about Naruto Hinata, rather than, oh, as a state present from the Kazekage type thing. So, and that was a nice little kind of message to have within the episode, of just kind of Gaara realizing that, and kind of you having moments like Iruka coming in, and kind of in I suppose, the whole, a lot of it being based around Ichiraku Ramen, him being there as everyone is basically sitting in Ichiraku Ramen trying to figure out what they want for Naruto. Iruka is seeing how much Naruto has grown by how much and how kind of passionately everyone is trying to get him the best present possible. That they want to do this, and they put so much effort into it. It highlights how close of friends Naruto has. That as his, you know, mentor, big brother, father type figure, he just is kind of very much kind of taken aback in a way by like how many friends Naruto has and how far they'll go for him, even if it's just, you know, wedding presents here. So I suppose for Iruka, just finding out that, oh, he's friends with the Kazekage, but also that the Kazekage really, really is thinking hard about what to get Naruto, kind of showcase something to him. We also had Teuchi, who obviously is the main chef at Ichiraku Ramen, trying to figure out, okay, he's going to give Naruto some form of a gift card type thing of like free ramen for a certain amount of time. It's initially a year, it's cut down to 6 months. Ayame doesn't agree with that, but in the end he actually just kind of writes it for free ramen forever. And I think it ultimately is quite fitting in that, in a way, like he, I suppose business-wise, like, because Naruto is so associated with the place, it makes sense that like Naruto, and I suppose Hinata as well, will be allowed to eat for free there. And then just all of the kind of help towards the business that Naruto has presented towards them, with regards to like the toppings are all kind of based on Naruto, that he's going to make money anyway, just as in terms of a business owner type thing. So I don't think that's too big of a like business problem, that Naruto is just allowed to eat free forever. So, but it's still quite nice, you know. Teuchi, like, when you really break it down, like, Iruka and Teuchi are kind of two of the first kind of people who kind of probably accepted him and kind of didn't treat him differently, I suppose. So that's why there's a lot of impact about it taking place in Ichiraku, and like Iruka being there as well. We got some good Lee stuff in this episode, references to the second episode of this arc with how crazy it was, but also Tenten being there as a kind of foil for Lee, in that she's very much kind of down to earth, and the main reason you get kind of exaggerated expressions with her is just her reacting to like how crazy everyone around her is. That Konkuro's going overboard, they're kind of almost trying to get Gaara on board with this. Lee is freaking out, and she's just like, what are we doing here? Just let's be normal people. Other aspects of the episode, we get Temari and Shikamaru. We get the continuation basically from the last episode of just the fact that they had this misunderstanding about what exactly happened last time out. Temari was thinking like, oh, like, are we getting married? Are we going in here to go with to this inn together? And they had this misunderstanding, and they clearly haven't talked for a little bit. But then they come back together and realize that, okay, it was an awkward moment, a little bit of miscommunication, but they still do really like each other, and they actually go on a proper date, and we see Ino and Choji looking in on them dating, and Ino is quite like shocked. But you can see how much they're getting on, how much they were smiling and interested in the conversation that they were having, and then Temari was very kind of annoyed at the start of the episode, and then just like extremely happy at the end of the episode. So that relationship is blossoming quite well, and you get the impression that like that's probably the next wedding realistically, Shikamaru and Temari, in terms of progress that we have so far. Because like Ino and Sai, we haven't really seen them together since they did the whole thing at the end of the Shikamaru arc. I thought this would be a good episode to have Choji and oh my god, I completely forget her name, Chocho's mother. It speaks to the fact that she is a relatively minor character, but have those two characters kind of get together at some point. Karui? Yeah, Karui, I think it is. It would have been an interesting time to have Choji actually meet Karui with the Cloud Village kind of people coming in. But they didn't really commit to that, so there's still that to be developed. But yeah, that was about it. We also got this nice moment. Obviously, there's a 5 Kage meeting happening in the Leaf Village, and we also see the bodyguards of basically some of the current Kage talking together. And the interesting thing about that is obviously that they become the next Kages for their respective nations. So it was interesting, Chodoro, Kuretsuchi there, and so on. So that was really nice to see. Just the way they show that they are actually getting along. The bodyguards of the next generation, I suppose, get along. So as the next Kage, they will of course work well together. So the fact that the nations are so friendly with each other now, kind of, it speaks to that before would this have ever happened, but now we have the current 5 Kage friendly with each other, as well as the next in line to be kind of relatively friendly with each other as well. So really kind of cool to see all that. But yeah, I think that's about all there really is to this episode in particular. Fun, if kind of somewhat uneventful, but I feel they're building towards something, and by the end of this arc we will get somewhat of a more emotional payoff, whether that be because they commit to something pretty big with Iruka and kind of have him go through some development and some emotional moments, or actually showing us some of the wedding. So hopefully within the next 3 episodes I think that we have left of Shippuden, we'll get to that. So next week's episode, the 5th episode, based on the preview, seems to be focused on Shino and Kiba trying to get their present. And the joke here is obviously that Shino has like never been the focus of any arc really. He's maybe got 1 or 2 fights in the entire series that he was pretty cool in, but beyond that he's never really been a character focus. Equally with Kiba, though, I suppose his personality makes him stand out a bit more, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do here. They're going to be setting up, I suppose to some degree, Kiba and his relationship with that girl, who I think is related to the cats. I think it's that girl who, like, Sasuke went to visit and has the like granny cat, and like this younger girl who was there. I think that's the Kiba's girlfriend that eventually establishes. So if we get introduced to her properly and they have that be a focus, that could be cool just to further develop a relationship. And maybe they may start to reference something along the lines of why Shino goes into teaching at the academy. That could be a cool thing to do with Shino, in addition to them obviously finding out what present they're going to get. And then, yeah, there's 2 more episodes left after that, 499 and 500, which I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do. There's obviously a few more characters left who still need to buy presents, but I feel that they continue to do that countdown thing of, like, I think at the end of this episode it was 16 days to the wedding, and they're roughly going up by like 4 or 5 days each episode. So I think by the end, like, that would make sense that we're in or around 0 days, we're at the wedding. So I think with 3 episodes to go, and we've covered most of the characters. Like, Sakura's got her present. Shikamaru and Temari, probably, now that they're talking again, are actually probably figuring out what their present is. Like, we're kind of quickly running out of characters who need to pick, so they'll do something with Iruka, and then hopefully Naruto and Hinata stuff actually in the episode. Because I think that's the only thing that's in any way missing from this, is just that for some reason Naruto and Hinata are just nowhere to be seen in these episodes, and it's noticeable, and I think we want to see them again. I can't see them ending Naruto Shippuden without Naruto, with Naruto having really not been in like the last 7 episodes. I can't see them really doing that, so hopefully they get that right. But yeah, that's been the video review for episode 497. So yeah, in the comments let me know what your thoughts were on the episode as well as the review. But yeah, that's been today's video. Thanks for watching, and bye.